XPR just had a nasty, short-lived, but very aggressive run up to the upside. Let's go see what targets it hit and what the hell it's going to do next. So as a preface, before I dive into this chart, whether it's Bitcoin or a stock with earnings reports and it's going up 60% in a day or whatever, the midterm timeframes, they're just really hard to predict. I mean, hell, even short-term timeframes are hard to predict. You can usually predict a general pullback, but even after the first pullback, so you see behind me XPR's nasty run up. Let me put it on like the daily chart so you can see the candles a little better. This nasty run up, you can have a lot of unpredictability in terms of how far does it make a lower high? So you're going to continue the volatility in here. You're not just going to spike up, come down, and chillax. That ain't going to happen. The volatility will continue, and it's a little bit wilder to play, but you always have horizontals, you always have EMAs, even though it just blew through whatever. And so this looks kind of news oriented, and it was at a great juncture to explode like this, but the reaction above. So let's go dive into this chart and figure out what the hell's going on with it and where it's going to go. All right, from a trading perspective, what might have been an initiator of. What's this white line? There we go. That's the daily 10. Proton was staying above the daily 10, broke out above this trend line that I had drawn here, used it as support, and somebody bought it hard. Like, this is a lot of market buying. Like, this just blew through everything that I would have imagined it would stop it. So it did more than a 2x, 2.1x. And if you go down to the small time frames, so this was only a 15-minute. So most of this was only a 15-minute candle. Wow. That's a single person or entity doing that. So that's all happened in 30 minutes. The entire move. Wow. That is I don't smells like a YouTuber to me, but anyway. So it finally stopped its rally at this wick over here, just shy of this wick down. Oh, we can't see it. That wick right here stopped it. So let me do an horizontal, make a horizontal there at that wick, and it stopped on. Oh, yeah, that's on it. So it actually stopped a hair shy of it, a hair shy. Blew through the daily 89, which I thought was going to stop it. Bounced off of it lower high. Now is below its daily 10. So honestly, because it's below its daily 10, I think it has to touch this channel line and or this green line before it can do a larger, potentially lower high or continue going up. I don't see it going up above this, but before it can get a nice potential like midterm time frame lower high, because it's below the daily 10 and the daily 89, from which it should have bounced to put it a lower high, which it did sort of, but a lower high to this like here, up here, it has to now touch, something else before it can even try that. So let me do a projector tool so you can envision what I'm saying here. 45-degree angle roughly, something like that. This was your first chance to touch and hit. This was your second chance to touch and hit. Both of those are now out. Your third chance is the orange line. Your fourth chance is this horizontal from which the whole explosion happened, right? And that actually, the green line actually makes sense because that was your explosion point. So come back and touch, like literally give up the whole run. Then people want some more and come back for some volatility to hit the 45-degree angle and a horizontal. So it could easily come back up to 0.005 here would probably be a target for this. So if this is going to make another move up, I would say you're going to have a triangle like this. Here are your three coordinates. And that is out to August 24th. It's to August 24th. This is current. It's going to bounce somewhere in that triangle. as low as 0.003, or if it bounces here, 35.85. All right, so I'll just leave this kind of pinged in the middle. It's got to hit this black triangle before then it wants to come up to this line. And usually when it hits a, and that's an if, since it was so aggressive and it gave it all up essentially. But if it's going to make that lower high to this wick high, it usually, the timing of it usually has to do where it comes out. It usually, aligns with also a horizontal of what locally just happened. And a lot of times I like to say, okay, does the timing of this make sense? Where these intersect, does that give it enough time to reasonably bounce or to descend and then bounce? Absolutely. And so let's go ahead and put a price target in that. Bam. Close to 0050. Close. And the point at which you start getting real bearish, that not only was this, some type of fake out move, but you're going to accelerate down, is if you start using this line as resistance. Then you really could start accelerating down and never even have a chance. But I would highly suspect, save a big drop on Ethereum and Bitcoin. If Ethereum and Bitcoin do not drop, I would fully expect it to bounce from this point. But I don't see it bouncing before then, now that specifically the daily 10 and daily 89 have been lost. I'm pretty sure I would strongly, I think it has to touch that. And wow, what I would be interested to know what news event, this is almost definitely news in the charts. So there's something released, if somebody could leave a comment on that. But let me see. Awesome, man. Yeah, I don't have anybody in the comment section describing, this person talked about it, or they released, something, or they partnered with BMW or Tesla or whatever. It looks like something in the chart there, because there's no way, you can see that in TA, because this all happened in 30 minutes. It's wicked, wicked, wicked move.